Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm gonna be showing y'all how to create the Catfish interior finisher build. And I'm telling y'all, with this build, gonna remind me of a few different NBA players like Anthony Davis, also Giannis Antetokounmpo, and players like these making, I'm telling y'all, is definitely gonna remind me of today's archetype. Now with this build, we have a lot of potential. We're actually gonna make it out of the power forward position today. But when it comes down to the actual animations out of this build, we're going to be able to get pro dribble moves, elite contact dunks, as well as standing contact dunks. Now when it comes down to the attributes, we have the potential of a 100 plus driving dunk, standing dunk, block, as well as both the offensive and defensive rebound. Now from the gameplay, I'm pretty happy with how this build comes out to be, especially with the movement. The offense and the defense are really going to hold this build up well together. Now look, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And I would appreciate it if everybody went ahead and smashed that like button. But be sure to comment down TG for thank God, as well as where you're tuning in from watching today, and I most definitely will hit y'all back with a response. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and get into the breakdown of this build. So like I said earlier, we have to go ahead and create it out of the power forward position. Now when it comes down to the body settings, this is actually going to be another crucial area towards this build. So when it comes down to the height, I'm going to go with 6'10". Now for the weight, I'm going to go with 240. And then for the wingspan, I'm going to go ahead and put this to 7'7". So for the speed, I'm going to go ahead and consider all of this with the gym rat badge as well as with your Gatorade facility workouts complete. So the speed will be a 67, but with the workouts and the gym rat badge, this will read a 71. Now the acceleration is going to go from a 70 to a 74, 90 to a 94 strength, 82 to an 86 vertical, with a 90 to all the way up to a 94 stamina. Now I think when it comes down to the big man, this is one of the better builds that you can possibly make, especially when it comes down to being versatile. Now from here, let's go ahead and move up the list. I'm going to get started with the defense. Now for the interior, I'm going to go with the 74, same thing for my perimeter, 39 steal, 87 block, 81 offensive rebound, with an 87 defensive. Now we get a total of 24 badges, and look, we get glove, interceptor, post lockdown, and also workhorse on gold for tier 1. Now for tier 2, I like box out beast, chase down artist, and then bronze challenger. And then for tier 3, anchor on silver, as well as rebound chaser with gold brick wall. Now I think we have everything that we need on this build to be a complete big man, and also to be able to find success in any game mode on the defensive end. From here, I'm going to move up the list, so let's get started with the playmaking. So as you can see, we get a total of 12 badges. I'm going to go with the pass accuracy of a 67, 79 ball handle, and then when it comes down to the speed with ball, I'm going to go with the 60. Now with the 12 badges, I like hyperdrive, killer combos, clamp breaker. We also get handles for days and then silver quick first step on tier 2. And if you do decide to throw extra badges into this area, we're going to be able to get silver unpluckable equipped as well. Now when it comes down to the shooting, you really have to be sure that you follow along with these numbers. This is what's going to make the build even better on the offensive end. So let's go ahead and get started. So for the mid-range, I'm going to go with the 69, 79 three-pointer with the 79 free throw. And I like the badges of silver amped as well as midi magician, then space creator and volume shooter. Now for tier 2, I like agent 3 and green machine. And then to wrap it up for tier 3, limitless range is going to be the only badge that I'm really focused on, and it's going to give us a perfect badge layout for this build as well. Now we have the rest of the remaining attributes left over for the finishing. Now for the finishing, I'm going to go with the close shot of a 73, 78 driving layup, 93 driving dunk, 90 standing dunk, with a 30 post control for a total of 19 badges. Now the badges that I like: gold back down punisher, giant slayer, pro touch, and slithery. For tier 2, gold limitless takeoff, and then silver fearless finisher. And then for this build, we're actually able to get bully, posterizer, rise up, and fast twitch all unlocked for tier 3. Now if you add everything up together, We have a lot of potential out of this build, so look, when it comes down to the badges, we're going to be able to get anywhere from 74 and higher for the badge count. Now with the takeovers, this is going to make the biggest difference, so we get the slashing, sharpshooting, rip protecting, and glass cleaning. Now for my best interest, if you want to, you can go with finishing moves and then limitless range for the second takeover. But I think honestly, if you were to go with paint intimidation, and then for your second takeover pick, see the future takeover, I think these two are really going to make this build that much more overpowered. Let's go ahead and check out the build name to make sure that we made it correctly. And if you did, we should be getting these three comparisons. And together, we were able to create the Catfish interior finisher build. Now keep in mind, you have the potential of a 100 plus driving dunk. Same thing for your standing dunk. Both the offensive and defensive rebound. And then also when it comes down to the block. Now if you add in the plus 10 when it comes down to activating your takeover boost, the plus 5 that you get from buying your own boost, and the plus 4 from running with teammates that do have on floor general on Hall of Fame, that's really going to put this build over the top on the playmaking. The shooting and the finishing only gets better from here on out. Now let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the badges. Now for the finishing, I'm going to go with Pro Touch, Slithery, Limitless Takeoff, Posterizer, as well as Bully. Now a few badges that I would really consider: Fearless Finisher, as well as possibly even Giant Slayer and Back Down Punisher. Now you definitely can go ahead and change the badges up based to your own liking and playstyle, but when it comes down to the finishing, I think these are going to be the most crucial badges to put on for this build. Now when it comes down to the shooting, I'm going to go with Amped, Midi Magician, Space Creator, Volume Shooter, Green Machine, Agent 3, and Limitless Range. Now this is really going to make up if you do decide to go with double defensive takeovers, but if you did decide to go with sharpshooting takeover, I think this badge is definitely worthy of keeping on. And then when it comes down to tier 2 and tier 1, these are really going to help us out when it comes down to spreading the floor. Now for the playmaking, I'm going to go with Clamp Breaker, Killer Combos, Special Delivery, Handles for Days, and Hyperdrive, with Quick First Step as well as Vice Grip. Now we have all of the main essential badges added to this build in order to dribble. And remember, if you do use the 4 extra badges from my career towards your playmaking, we're going to be able to equip Silver Unpluckable as well. Now with the defense, I'm going to go with Ankle Braces, Glove, Interceptor, and Post Lockdown. Then for tier 2, Chase Down Artist, Box Out Beast, Challenger, with Anchor as well as Rebound Chaser. Now if you want to make any adjustments, now's the time to do so. Let me know in the comments, what did y'all think about this build? Are there any changes that you would make? And have you seen it created before exactly how I brought it to y'all? But again, I just gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And with all that being said, man, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And I would appreciate it if everybody went ahead and smashed that like button. And also commented down TG for thank God, as well as where you're tuning in from watching today. And I most definitely will hit y'all back with a response. But with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.